Everyone, BB. So today I'm going to be talking about a video. It's a wee bit overdue. Um, I've mentioned this a few times about me falling and slipping on ice. It's a short story. It's not a very long story, but it explains why I'm so terrified of ice. So this happened, I want to say maybe six, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. This was before my sister was in college. She was home at the time. And I know it was during the winter because obviously ice only happens in Illinois during the winter. You probably aren't going to be expected to find ice during like summer. So obviously this had to be during the winter. Like I said, I don't remember the year off the bat. I remember it like it happened yesterday. I just couldn't tell you the year. Like I said, I want to say 5 or 6 years ago. That's because my sister was still home at the time. She wasn't in college yet. I could not tell you if she was still in high school at the time. Maybe she was out of high school. Maybe she wasn't. I don't know. I assume she was probably out of high school just because we were going in the morning. It happened in the morning/afternoon. And I assume it was on a Saturday or Sunday. I don't know. Maybe she was off that day. But I couldn't tell you exactly the date. I couldn't tell you the day it happened on. All I know is the sun was out. So one day my sister woke me up and said, I want to go to IHOP for all-you-can-eat pancakes. And I was like, okay, let's go. Now, if you ask me, was my sister driving at the time? I want to say yes, but then again, I want to say no, because I think if my sister was driving, she probably would have drove. I mean, I prefer to drive, and my sister knows that, but then again, if my sister wants to drive places, I'm going to be like, if you want to drive, you can drive, but I prefer to drive, but Stella, if you want to drive, you can drive. I like her driving, she likes my driving, even though I'm much of a better driver than she is. Not by a long shot, but love you, Stella. So I don't know if she was driving at the time. Maybe she was, maybe she wasn't. I don't remember, in all honesty. So we were going, and it's during the winter, and she went before me, and I was back by the door, locking the door, and I had the purse. And back then, I don't know why, because I've never really been a purse person, if that makes sense. I've never really carried a purse. To be honest, the only times you'll ever catch me carrying a purse is 2 reasons. Either because I'm on my period, and I need to carry pads. I'm just gonna go out. I carry pads in the purse. My mom always yells at me like, don't leave your purse in the car, someone's gonna take it. And it's like, you know what, if someone breaks into the car and steals my purse, they're probably gonna return it, because they're gonna open it up and see a bunch of pads falling out, because I stuff it like a turkey on Thanksgiving with pads, because I'm that kind of person on my period where I'm always better safe than sorry, and I'll rather carry 100 pads in my purse than not carry enough and then have to worry about running home or getting, canceling leaving a place early because I didn't bring enough pads, I'm not trying to say that I'm going to use 20 pads in one day, but like I said, when it comes to my pad purse, it's stuffed more than it can handle with pads. And it's the only thing, occasionally I might carry a house key in it. I might put my car keys in it if I'm somewhere. That's one reason why I will carry a purse. Another reason why I will carry a purse if I'm on a ride along And on my ride-along purse, you know, there's my car keys, there's phone charger, have some perfume in there, have what else do I carry in there? I carry my Vegemite. I carry a small little, tiny little dollar brush. I got the, if I have to brush my hair, I keep a couple hair bands in there. Lip balm. I might put my gloves in there, depending on the time of year. So, I only technically really carry 2 purses, and one is for when I'm on my period, and the other is if I'm on my ride-alongs. And I can guarantee you, if I'm out and about, like now, if I would leave, I'm not going to bring a purse. Because all my identification and everything I need is in my phone. Because I have a little pouch. Excuse me. So, I don't know why back then, when this incident happened, I had a purse. I really have no idea. If I had to guess, it was probably maybe because I was on my period. And maybe it had pads in it. Because that's probably the only reason why I would probably carry a purse. Even though, like I said, I have no clue why I had one at the time. I just happened to have one. I actually missed that purse. It was a purse my aunt got me from Goodwill. And why I got rid of it, I think maybe because it was dirty. I think maybe because it whipped. I highly doubt that I would have gotten rid of that purse that's rid of it, because I actually really like that purse. So I assume it got dirty. It whipped. Something was up with it. I can't remember. We kind of regret throwing it. I don't know. Maybe it was broken. Maybe it was dirty. Something must have been up with it. I don't know. Maybe I spilled something in it. I can't remember. But it was actually a purse that my aunt got me from Goodwill. It had like colorful stripes on it and stuff like that. But you know, so we're going, and I unlocked the car, and we're starting to lock down the driveway, and all of a sudden, I feel like myself flying up in the air, and then I black out for like 5 seconds. I feel myself hit the ground. I black out for like 5-6 seconds, and I sit up, and I'm like, what is this happening? My sister's like, oh my God, are you okay? And I was like, what happened? She's like, you slipped on ice. You pulled Charlie Brown. And I'm like, I pulled a what? I was literally like that because I was so winded. She was like, your whole body went up in the air. She said, every bit of your body, your legs, your arms, your back, everything of your body was in the air. She said, you were like Charlie Brown that couldn't kick the football that Lucy was holding. And she said, the way you hit the ground, she said, your back cracked. She said, it almost made me throw up because of the sound your body made when it hit the ground. And I was just like, maybe you should call the police. I mean, I think I need to go to the ER. She's like, are you sure? And it's like, I hit my head and it blacked out, yeah. Get the medics here. Get them here now. So she called, and then I took the phone out from her, and it's kind of embarrassing because I swear I was talking like this because I was embarrassed and I would hit my head. But now that I look back at it, I remember I don't want to say I was flirting with the dispatcher, but I remember telling the dispatcher, you know, I'm sitting on ice, and he's like, yeah, we got medics on the way. And it's like, I fell on ice, and my butt's numb. I feel my butt is numbing up. And I swear I was talking like that because I was on ice. And I look back at that, for example, today, and I'm thinking, why would I tell him that? Why would I tell the dispatcher that my butt was numb? Of course it's numb. I was sitting on ice. It's probably a good thing that it was numb, because the day after, I was in a lot of pain. But, like, I swear it was because I hit my head while I was talking like that. I wouldn't normally talk like that. But, so it's funny, but it's not funny, because, like, the police and the fire department came, And I was like, careful, careful, it's very icy. And they started slipping and almost falling on the driveway coming up to me. And they had to put ice down. They had to put salt down because they were slipping. And they said, do you want to go to the ER? And it's like, I only called you guys because I hit my head and I blacked out. If I didn't black out and I didn't hit my head, I probably would not be calling you. So they're like, okay. So I went and everything was fine. The doctor said he didn't see any concussions or anything, because that's what I was afraid of, because I hit my head. I could have a concussion. Ever since that incident happened 5 or 6 years ago, I've been terrified. I've been terrified of ice. Terrified to the point where there's days where I go outside and to go out to my driveway, you need to step down from my door, and then there's a small little patio, and then you need to step down again. Well, I'll put my foot out, and I'll feel if it's icy. I won't go anywhere. Like, that's how terrified I am of the ice. Our driveway is black tar, black asphalt. So, that already hides the ice. And 2, there's a little bit of a slant. Not a big slant, but a big enough slant that if you would put a battery on the top of the driveway, it would probably roll down the driveway. It's enough slant that it's like an ice rink. Like, there's ice that is so bad some winters that it's like you can barely go up the driveway because the ice is so bad with the car. Down the driveway because you slide. You can literally put it in neutral. You don't even have to put it in reverse. I'm terrified of the ice. I hate it. I don't particularly mind the snow. I'd rather deal with snow than ice. Now, obviously, I know, well, once snow comes, and then once it melts, it's probably going to turn into ice. A couple days ago, it was freezing rain, and I was terrified. Actually, coming home from training, it was on Wednesday, coming home from training at night. It's like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. Our cars suck. They don't do very good in the snow or the ice. There's some cars that we have that are better, and there's some cars where it's like, you just better not go. You just might as well not even drive it. And the car that I was in was my sister's Jeep, and because it's like a two-wheel, front-wheel drive, I don't know. It's not very good when it comes to ice. It's not very good when it comes to rain. If it's raining outside, you have to drive very slow. You have to turn the corner slow, even though it's a Jeep. You're gonna slide like a fishtail, and I know from experience because I've done it in her car once or twice. So, coming home from training on Wednesday, I was like driving slow enough that I had my hazards on. Of course, it was only like a 5-minute drive, and it was 11 o'clock at night, so thankfully there wasn't that many cars out, and the roads weren't completely that bad. I was probably exaggerating a little bit because my car at the station was covered in ice. It was only like maybe an inch of ice, not even half an inch of ice. There's a coating of ice on my car. Once I turned the engine on and heat on, it melted almost instantly. But I was like, I don't want... The streets look like they're clear because people are whipping down Main Street in Bartlett like there's no tomorrow. You would think that there was a fire and as much as I don't want to say this, but you would think that, like, doomsday was coming because of people flying down Main Street in Bartlett. My lieutenant that I actually left took off like a bat out of hell, and it's like, how does he know that the road's not icy? Just because you can't see ice doesn't mean it's not there. That's what, hello, black ice. I hate that voice. When someone calls a house, there's this lady that talks and says who it is, and it can kind of freak me out sometimes when I don't expect it. But I was like, Now that I think about it, the roads actually weren't that bad. I don't know if you can hear that. Hang on. If you can hear that, I'm going to wait for her to stop talking. I don't know if you can hear that or not. I'm sorry, I don't know if you can hear her. So let's be safe, I'm going to wait for her to stop talking. Watch it be that you can't hear her, and I'm just sitting here, and you're probably thinking, why are you not talking? Okay. Anywho, where was I? I don't like driving in the snow. Like I've mentioned before, if I absolutely positively have to drive in the snow, I will. But I try to avoid it. Like, for example, when we're on patrol, or we're going to training, or a patrol, or a call out, and it's snowing, I tell people, hey, if you want to volunteer, here's the keys. Have at it. But I hate driving it. I'll do it if I absolutely have to, because the vehicles on my unit is probably much better than the vehicles I have at home. But people know, my friends know, my family knows, the people on the unit knows, I hate driving in the snow. I hate it. I hate driving in the rain. I hate driving in the snow. The rain's not as bad. I can probably handle driving in the rain a little better than the snow. But still, it's like, I try to avoid it as much as possible. If I had to pick between driving in the rain and the snow, obviously I pick the rain. But, again, I'm terrified of the ice. Ooh. Excuse me. There are days I come home from something, wherever I've been out, and I take literally 10 minutes to get up the driveway because I'm going as slow as I can possibly get. My driveway is kind of weird because if I fall, I don't really have anything I can particularly hold on to. I kind of have a tree, but it's not very strong. I have a garage, but again, it's not a good grip. So it's like, if I fall... Who's calling me? Please let it not be... Okay, spam. Spam. Good. But, like, it's like, if I fall on my driveway, I'm falling. There's nothing I can really grip. Thankfully, I've only fallen once or twice. And it's to the point where I'm so terrified of ice I can shake. I'm not shaking now just because I'm calm, but the day I came home from Wednesday's training, I called my lieutenant and it's like, hey, because I had a planned call. The next day I was supposed to go out to do something. And I told him, hey, look here. I said, I'm a 5-minute drive from my house to the station, to my house to the station, you know it. I'm driving literally so slow, I have my hazards on. And I'm driving below the limit. Because that's how bad my car... I mean, like I said, I was exaggerating a little bit. Now, once I got home, I was like, okay, the roads weren't as icy, as bad as I thought they were. They were actually clear, to be honest. But again, better safe than sorry. But once I got home, I was like, okay, the roads weren't bad at all, but I was like pushing on it, I could have gone on the street, on Main Street, out of my station, and I could have been sliding all over. So, oi. So what else can I talk about? I remember when we had Baxter. Oh, God. about about 5 or 6 years ago, we assume, we don't know for certain, but my baby had to have a splenectomy. And we assume it was because he slipped on ice because it was during the winter. That's actually a whole other story. I'm not going to say it now because I'll actually start to cry. Because we seriously thought that he was going to die that day. Because we didn't know what the heck was going on. But anyways, that's a whole other story. But it got to the point where I would put so much... Because going out to our backyard, there's 2 steps. There's 2 brick steps that he would have to go down. And I would remember when it would snow and it would ice, we would always have to clear off the steps for him. I would put so much salt down there. My mom again would yell at me saying, "You're putting too much salt down. You don't need that much salt." And I was like, does it matter? I said, I don't want my baby falling again because he doesn't have a spleen anymore. So he falls and, well, I don't know frankly, what else we could take out of him. You know, when he's so old at this point, if he falls, he's not going to... Anyways, and then she was like, well, he can fall in that. That's one shot, and he's gone. I swear, the minute he cries or yelps and he can't walk, I'm putting him down and he's going to doggy heaven. And I'm like, oh, Lord. Really, Mom? Now you sound like Grandma when Grandma would tell us, one shot. All the dog needs is this one shot in the paw. And I was like, shut up. Because that's my baby you're talking about. Poor boy. He's prancing in heaven right now. He's hanging out with Oma and Opa. And he's hanging out with Kasha, and Logan, and Addison, and Shasi, Cameo, and Murphy. You know, the family dogs and pets. He's up there with Grandma and Grandpa, Great-Grandpa, Great-Grandma. He's up there with all the families. He's prancing in the snow because he loved the snow. But anyways, I would put so much salt down, and my mom would kind of yell at me sometimes. You're too much. And it's like, does it matter? I said, I don't want him falling. These steps can get very icy. Enough that I almost fell. So, looking at a picture of him. And I'm looking at a picture of my Oma. I miss you, boy. I really do. I wasn't expecting to cry in this vlog, I can tell you that. And I kind of made myself cry, because it brought up a story about my boy, my baby. Sorry, I know it's okay to cry. Obviously, people say it's always okay to cry, and it's good and healthy to cry, but if you would have told me I was going to cry in this blog, I probably would not have believed you. Oh, you four-legged Wookie. I used to call him a 4-ball. Because he literally was a ball 4. And I used to call him a 4-legged Wookie. Because he had so much hair. Baxter Boy had so much hair. When we would brush him. When he would let us brush him. The last several years that he was around, he was just too old. And it was too hard for him to hop up on the table. And the table we had outside broke. And the table that we have outside now is a glass table. And he would never hop up on the glass table. Because I think it would scare him because he could see through. And plus we don't know if it really would have handled his weight. Because Baxter Boy, he was 50 to 65 pounds. The most he weighed was 65. The least he weighed was, I think, 55 pounds. But before the glass table, before the table we have out there now, we had a wooden table. It was much bigger, but it was made of wood. And he would hop up on that table. And he would just sit up on the table and lay down and relax and let the wind go through his forehead and face. And after that table got broken, we never got a new one. And after that, we never really brushed him the last several years he was around, just because it was too hard for him. We would have had to do it in the grass or in the house, and literally the days that we did brush him, it would literally take me and my mom and my sister almost an hour and a half to brush that four-legged Wookiee. He had so much fur that would come off of him. When we were done, the whole yard would look like it snowed. It literally looked like it snowed because he was like white, gray. He had like white, gray, black, and gold in him. Gold when he was young. He was gold when he was young. Oh, blonde. But like white, gray, and black fur. Excuse me. Phlegm came up. Ugh. It would literally look like it snowed. He would make enough for, we would shed enough fur off of him. You probably could coat 6 other dogs. He had enough fur that he probably had enough for 6 other little dogs. I mean, it would be covered, the yard would be covered in snow. And my dad would come out and look in the yard and be like, "Did this snow?" And we're like, "No, we just brushed Baxter." And he was like, "You're telling me that much fur came off of that dog?" And we're like, "Yeah, it took us an hour and a half to shed him or brush him." "Yeah, you picking all that up." It's like, who else? No, it's biodegradable. I don't know. Anyway, he loved to get brushed. He would sit there, and he would let my mom, because I would help hold him. Not that he really needed to be held, because he liked to be brushed. He loved to be vacuumed, and he loved to be brushed. We would turn the vacuum on, and he would sit there, and we would just be like, I'm trying to do vacuum noise. I am not a person known to make noises, little vacuum noises, but he would just sit there and he would be like, with the vacuum. He would love it. He hated the lawnmower. He would always try to fight my dad and try to bite and attack the lawnmower. And my dad would be like, "Get out of here, you goddamn dog. Go, you mutt." So, sorry if I swore, but that's what he said. I remember looking out the window once, and my dog, Baxter, was, he was trying to attack the lawnmower, and he was doing, like, the puppy dog, and, like, barking at it, but doing the puppy dog. And my dad was like, "I'm trying to cut the grass," and my dog was like, "Wow, wow." And I was like, oh my God, I better go get my dog, my baby. So I ran outside and I was like, "Come here, boy. Come on, boy. Come here, boy." You know, he would be laying down and he would be looking up at me like, "You what?" Because he loved to sleep. He loved to lay down, and whenever if I would be going like, "Come here, Baxter boy, Baxter boy," he would be laying down there and he would just lift up his head. Only his head, and he would look at me like, "What?" And then just lay back down and then probably sneeze. He loved to sneeze. That dog, he could sneeze. And I'm not talking about I'm talking about, he would like, go like this, and he would have to go like this, and he would sneeze, and then he would shake his head when he sneezed. And he would do it like 4 times one time. He loved to sneeze. He loved to prance. He loved to eat the snow. He loved to eat paper towels. You could never leave a napkin or a paper towel out because he would eat it. And then he would lie. I didn't eat no paper towels. And it's like, Baxter boy, you 4-legged Wookie. I know you ate paper towels. You know how I know you ate my paper towels? Because I walked downstairs and all of a sudden they're gone? Because I can see it in your bowel movements. Bowel movements aren't supposed to be white. And you can't tell me you've been eating white, healthy fruits and veggies because don't eat more anything is potatoes and cauliflower. And he liked potatoes. Because he was an Irish dog, but, excuse me, gotta wipe my nose. Sigh. My nose was runny to begin with, and being that I cried a little because my baby didn't help. Miss him. Miss him so much. Miss you, Baxter. Miss you, baby. I hope you're taking care of him. I know you are. So glad you get to see him again.